Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with Justin, who is the creator of Smokes. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, John. How you doing?
Pretty good. It's good to see you back. You were here a little while ago. We were talking about your comic. Since last time I've had you on my channel, I got your comic. I read your comic. I did a video on your comic, and I really enjoyed your comic. So I would love to help you out. Try to get you some promotion. I think it's a lot of fun. For those of you who do not know, why don't you introduce yourself before I ramble on for an hour?
I'm a new creator. Um, my first comic, Smokes the Fox, is now on Fund My Comic, but originally I launched it last year on Indiegogo, and that campaign also included a bonus comic, which is called Weaponized Werewolf
Yep.
Zero. So those two books are basically my first two releases for my company, Belmont Press. And I'm working on another book right now, which is Smokes 2. And Mike Barron actually did the script. It's completed, and the editing is done. So right now we are started production on the pencils. Beard props. What's up, good stuff? He's smoking in preparation. Yeah, you got to smoke when you watch me.
So Smokes the Fox. He's not named Smokes because of his color or anything like that. He's smoking.
No. Well, it's because of his eye color in the comic book, but we all know the real reason why.
What I liked about Smokes is it tricked me because it looked like all innocent and it looked like a Chuck Jones character, but then I thought it was like a real like menace behind the scenes. And then when I read Weaponized Werewolf, which I do recommend, if you get Smokes, get Weaponized Werewolf. It's like two perspectives of the same story. You know, you're coming at it from this way, and then you go to Weaponized Werewolf, and you're coming at this way. And Smokes, he's I would say he's like a good natured, likable character, and that Weaponized Werewolf is not. You know, and I liked, you know, the sense of menace like this. I almost feel like this poor guy doesn't even know what's coming, and I was kind of scared by that. As much, I'm not. I like to play a game called Beat the Writer. So when I was reading Weaponized Werewolf, I'm like, okay, this is what I think Mike and Justin are going to, and I know Mike's going to beat me because he's a phenomenal writer. But I was just having so much fun trying to predict what's going on, and you know, I only got one issue in, but I'm definitely looking forward to number 2, and that's me rambling already.
Yeah, I don't know when the issue 2 is going to be ready. It's just ready when it's ready.
Yeah.
It's up to, the artist and my creative team, and just a lot of different factors. Wait, what? No, I'm not doing the pencils. My artist is drawing the pencils, but he just finished 5 thumbnails. So what we did is we cherry picked 5 pages from the script, and those pages are going to be the spotlighted, showcased pages that are going to be on the new campaign page when it's time. So he's working on those, and I just looked at the thumbnail. Huh?
What's your artist's name?
Lee Oaks.
Lee Oaks.
Lee Oaks. Yeah, he lives out here in Colorado. So me, Mike Barron, and Lee all live around the same area. So it's kind of like we got a local team.
Cool. Kind of easy to coordinate when you all live close together, you know.
Yeah, it makes easy getting signatures and stuff like that, comp copies. So I look forward, to this next issue. I know what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? No mystery, as like the pre-press part was like something I was new to the first time around. But now, I got a taste of everything, and I know the procedure and what I should be doing, and how to do it even better next time.
Now, let me ask you, since you brought it up, what were the biggest surprises in making Smokes #1 and Weaponized Werewolf?
Biggest surprises?
Like, what was the most difficult thing? Like,
the difficult thing? It's probably the printing and the whole thing. It gave me a lot of stress because I had this beautiful artwork on my screen, and then when I went to go get it printed, everything was like dark and just didn't come out how I wanted to. So it took a lot of we had to rework the print file a few times to get everything right. 2 or 3 times for each cover. It was just a big ordeal. Next time I have a new way I'm going to do it. That's going to take a lot of stress off my back.
I can
Uh,
imagine. Jeez.
so yeah, so after you put all that money and time and dedication and like years of work, and then you get handed like this dark thing, and I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And then it's real easy fix though. You know what I mean? But it was just freaking me out because I was like, what did I do wrong? You know what I mean? And there's so many things you can do wrong. It seems like it's pretty simple to make a comic book, but it's a lot of work. If you want to do it right and you want to do a good job, I mean, 3 years to put these two comics out.
It took you 3 years to get issue number one?
Well, that's because I'm waiting on artist availability. So it might be 2 or 3 months waiting on Ronnie Ramos to start inking and stuff like that. That's actually the reason why I made Weaponized Werewolf, because the production of Smokes was going kind of slow. So I decided to do this short story to add on to the and then make it cool, because now the campaign features 2 books instead of one,
Yeah.
and 2 stories by Mike Barron sounds good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I tried to give everybody their money's worth. I tried to get the best creators I could for the project. Oh, Hen's in here. Ray
Oh,
Haylock. Good stuff.
you I just want to, so when you started, did you have any background in, like, I don't even know what skills would you need, like computer skills or graphic arts or anything like that, like, so.
Yes. I have a degree in graphic
Oh,
design from 1999 though, but I still understand Photoshop. So I did basically all the campaign design and stuff like that myself. I came up with the redesign for Smokes, and then I just had Gerhard actually execute what I wanted. I told him exactly what I wanted, and he did a great job.
for those of you who don't know what you're talking about, tell us who Gerhard is.
Uh,
You got a lot of great people on your comic.
Gerhard is the backup artist, the background artist for Cerebus. He joined Dave Sim, I think, after issue 100 and something. It was kind of early on. He became, a part of the team. He actually was co-owner of the company.
Yeah.
Him and Dave Sim were partners, and Gerhard did some covers and stuff like that for the company. And I always liked his line work. He has the most incredible cross hatching I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's a great artist.
So I've always, just really loved his work.
How did you get him?
I met him. I met him at Big Wow. It's this convention in California,
Okay.
and he came to the show from Canada, and I got a commission from him. Um, I got this piece from him, this color piece, and then I asked him if he would actually draw my wedding invitation. And he said, sure. So, because the wedding was on this island, and it had this really historically old church we were getting married. It was called St. Anne's Church. It's from the 1800s.
Wow. Okay.
And it's on Mackinac Island, which is in Michigan. And there's no cars allowed on this island. I think it's like a 3.5 mile island or something like that, all around. It's a decent sized island. There's no cars allowed. So they only have horse and buggy.
Oh, wow.
So our wedding, we had a horse and buggy, and so he drew the horse and buggy in front of the church. And I don't know if you ever seen his work. He did church and state.
Yeah, I'm a big
all those
service.
yeah, all those church all those church backgrounds. Those are all him. So that's his forte is drawing churches and animals. So that's why I wanted him on board with Smokes, and I just really loved his artwork. And so I got to work with him.
First time creator, and you got like Mike Barron and Gerhard, and who did the cover for Weaponized Werewolf?
Tim Vigil did the cover. He's a big horror fan. He likes to draw, graphic stuff, a lot of nudity, stuff like that. He just likes to do his own thing, and I'm kind of like the same way. I like to give the artist their freedom and I know he draws a good werewolf. So I asked him on Facebook if he would,
You did.
draw this cover.
Fuck, I'm cheering you on. I really liked first, and that was your first comic, right?
The first comic was Smokes.
Right.
The
Yeah.
first cover I got was
First
Smokes, and
comic,
then
and look at all this talent you assembled. That is awesome. I think that's great. That's inspirational.
yeah, I did the best I could. I knocked on some doors. Some people said no. I didn't get everybody that I wanted to be a part of the project. I'm a nobody. Just came out of the woodwork, and I just wanted to work. I'm a big Valiant fan from the '90s, the original Valiant stuff.
Yeah.
Um, when Barry Windsor Smith was there and Bob Layton, and I really liked that stuff because it had a good story as well as art, but it wasn't just all pinups like Image, where it's just like double page spreads and big
I'm with you
stuff.
on
I thought Image was cool, but I always liked Valiant because they had a good mixture of both story and the
Valiant
art.
is what comics were supposed to be, stories and art. And I thought Image was mostly art. I've said it before, so I don't think I'm being controversial or anything, but I got into Image when it first came out because you get caught up in that whirlwind, but
Yeah.
I kind of let it go away. There was only a few titles that I actually liked. Yeah, I wasn't too impressed. That name was perfect. They were Image, but you're right, Valiant. Man, I got to go back and get out some of my old Valiant comics. Those are good stuff. Yeah, good comic to draw inspiration from.
So that's how I saw Bob Layton's work and Don Perlin. So
Yes, you got Don Perlin to do a cover. I forgot about that. Don Perlin is a legend.
Don Perlin came out of retirement actually to draw my cover. I don't know how I did that. I mean,
I don't know
just
how you
asked
did that
him,
either.
and he said sure. So I got him to do the pencils.
Guy's like 90 something years old, and he does your cover. That's awesome.
He's done one cover more since mine, a published cover. He did one for Chuck Dixon.
Oh, which comic?
I think it was Airboy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was like a new cover for Airboy or something. It was like
51 or 52. I forget which.
It was yeah. So that was a Don Perlin cover. That's the last cover that he's done, I think, since.
Don could draw a movie. Oh man, he drew some Ghost Rider stuff for my kid that I still see every panel of that comic book when I close my eyes. And he did a lot of spectacular Spider-Man. Just a legend. I'm impressed that you got all these people. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, so my book, could be considered like almost like a Valiant type book is what I was going for. But Weaponized Werewolf is more towards like a horror book, I guess you can say a little bit.
Yeah.
But when you read them both together, to give you the overall picture and story, everything kind of adds up.
Yep.
And issue 2 is going to, continue the story where it left off. It kind of leaves off abruptly in the first issue. I wish, I made it a little bit longer. The story I thought did stop a little short, but it's my first book. I didn't want to go overboard on the pages. I thought 24 pages was pretty good. 28 page total book.
So your whole process of making Smokes, you said it was a big learning experience. I could only imagine. So you got it more streamlined now. You think you got a better handle on everything?
Yeah, I understand what to look for, what the problems are, what could come up, things I never thought of, like the trim line where the artwork's going to get cut off for the book. Sometimes artists don't think about that. You know what I mean? They're thinking about making the image great, but they're not thinking that that character might be a little bit too close to that border, to that edge, and it could get clipped off a little piece of that art. So there's things to make sure either your page sizes are correct when the artist is drawing all the artwork. You want these certain specs. We used DC specs for the I think that's from 2014 or something. He told Kurt Hathaway, he's my editor. He told me, he kind of like helped me out a little bit and told me some tips. You know what I mean? That I should get the artwork made at these sizes. So so later on, I wouldn't have any issues where That's what would happen though. Is what's your option? If the artist draws your page wrong, the wrong size, you either have to pay the guy to redraw it again, or clip the artwork and just live with it. It might look weird, or you know what I mean. There's not many options, so you can go in Photoshop and maybe mess with it, something like that. But then you're gonna have to pay somebody, to do that in Photoshop. So it's just best to get it done right the first
Yeah,
time. So now I know, what to look for as far as that, like the specs and for pre-press especially. And next time I'm gonna actually, print out all my pages separately, just like on one sheet of paper each, and then look at how they look in color, and then adjust the brightness and the contrast or
okay,
whatever it needs to make sure next time everything's perfect, and then make the print file. So
okay.
I think that'll make my life a lot easier
And
this time around.
the comic itself, it felt fine. I'm a big, you know, I
Oh,
love
the
this kind of
paper.
book in my hand, and I thought yours, your printer did a good job. They feel like good comics, good quality. Binding is, all that little stuff that I don't know. I'm a
Yeah,
weirdo.
it's an offset press they use. It's not one of those fancy digital ones they have now. Um, saddle stitched, all done by hand. Um, this one guy did pretty much he made every comic himself. He put them all together. This one
Wow.
guy that works at the shop, he put every one of my comics together for me. Bob, his
Fantastic
name is.
girls say,
Hey,
Justin.
Fanta. Yeah, Fanta's on my show. We do a show called The Man Cave on Thursdays. Uh, she's one of the panelists. We have a
Okay.
few different people on, but it's kind of
Hello.
like a comedy variety show
Yeah,
that we do.
I've seen. I've watched it after. I never catch it live because Thursdays I have a game night, and
Oh yeah,
we
your game night.
yeah
But
we
yeah,
have.
we this week I'm not gonna do it this week because I got family coming in. But we'll be back next week. Um, but yeah, we just have Michael Bancroft on, great guest. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun. You guys are pretty. You guys are pretty funny. I laugh every time I'm watching. Yes, 6 hours. I don't know how you have the endurance to.
Yeah, I did a 6 hour stream. I didn't mean to do a 6 hour stream, but we were celebrating my funding goal hit 10K,
Oh,
and so we just did this really long streams.
good for
And it just
you.
got carried away, and we just kept yapping and kept going, and
Yeah,
then
having fun.
yeah, we're having fun, and my voice gave out towards the end, so I was like, it's time to go. So.
That's great. That
So I
yeah,
think
having
6 hours is my limit next time. The max I can ever go is probably 6.
fun. Oh
That's
man,
a while.
the longest I ever talked was 2 hours.
2.
Yeah, I'm an
Yeah,
amateur, I guess.
two's good. Two's good.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm really excited for you. You hit 10 grand. It's your first comic, and it. When I had the comic in my hand, both of them, I'm like, I would never have believed that you'd never made a comic before. It was professional. It was well written. It was fun. Like I said, I'm looking forward to issue number 2. I'll definitely be back, and
I appreciate it.
yeah, you hit like all my buttons. I'm trying not to spoil the comic. I want people to read it on their own, but there was like whimsical. There was character driven. There was like a sinister darkness like floating around, like a sense of menace and doom. It wasn't just frivolous nonsense. There's a lot of stuff going. And then when you read Weaponized Werewolf, I was actually getting a little nervous. Like where is this going? Like I think you're tricking me in the best way. I'm really looking forward to see where you go. But then you got Mike Barron on your team. How can you not? How can you not be good? For those
It goes a direction you might not think it would go in the next issue. You never would have thought it would go this direction. You'll see.
Now, do you have it all planned out?
Yeah, the second issue's already been
No,
written.
you have like 20
Oh, you
issues.
mean everything? Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I don't think Mike works like that. I don't think Mike, plans out like 5 books in a row or anything like that. He just continues the story later on. He doesn't, plan out too far ahead.
Okay.
But for this new book, I wanted some sex appeal, so we're adding a new female character, and her name is Haley Sloan. and she's this cool character that smokes meats, and she becomes friends with him, kind of like, like April O'Neil. The
Yeah.
Turtles got her, something like that, like a character.
With Swain.
Yeah, she's a cool character. Oh,
Yeah.
Ray's here. He said he got a new feature to his plugin. Oh, yeah, he's working on this plugin for websites,
Oh, cool.
or you kind of like it's kind of like you can have a campaign on your website without having to have a platform. You know what I mean? Your website would actually be your platform.
Oh, cool. Cool. Cool.
So a lot of creators are doing that now, where they just have their own, like Michael Bancroft. He just has his campaign on his website. He is not on Fund My Comic or Indiegogo.
Oh,
So
wow. That's
yeah,
it.
so that's the newest thing. So if you're a big enough creator, you can just have your own, like Eric July.
July is doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Yellow Flash, I believe, has his own. So yeah, if you got a big enough
If you got your built-in
fan
audience.
base, yeah, if you got a big enough audience, you can just have your own on your site, just a plugin or whatever.
Wow, that is really cool. That is awesome. I was thinking about that. That crowdfunding is to me the most exciting thing in comic books going on. The mainstream. I'm a big comic book guy, obviously. You wouldn't be talking to me if I wasn't a big comic book guy. But I got to say, I'm not too excited about the mainstream stuff. But I'm very excited about all the crowdfunded comics, like guys like you, and everything that's coming out. And I was wondering, there's got to be a way to make it easier. And this sounds pretty cool. I'm actually excited about this. This is the first I'm hearing about it. I'm kind of like, my brain's going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, you could do anything now. You don't need the approval of some editor at some company, and you don't have to beg them to, carry your title. Imagine me writing to like Marvel or DC, trying to have them carry a comic book called Smokes the Fox. I mean, you think they're gonna say yes?
This isn't 1974 anymore. It might have worked when Steve Gerber was doing Howard the Duck, but not anymore.
So now we don't need anybody's permission. There's no gatekeepers really. Well, you can still get shadow banned on Indiegogo,
See, that's
but
what I was
on my
gonna bring up.
comic,
I was
now
talking to another guy, and I don't want to mention his name. It's not my news to tell, but he's
wait,
had
what?
problems with the Kickstarter. Like
Kickstarter.
they didn't like some of his art. They didn't like his subject matter. So
Yeah, you can get canceled on Kickstarter. They could pull your campaign.
Yeah.
Or shadow ban you or whatever. Usually just shadow ban you. But I just have
logo is doing that to certain people. You could only get to their comic if you go to a direct link. So, on my Twitter and I'm trying to put direct links out to everybody to bypass that.
Yeah, but on Fund My Comic, you don't have to worry about that.
Fund My Comic, Luke is a good guy. He's coming on to talk. Eric July's coming on to talk. We just confirmed.
He is?
Today. Yeah, can you believe that? Who am I?
Wow.
Who am I?
Yeah, did you talk to Chuck about about his?
Yeah, I had Chuck.
What he's going to be doing?
Is that incredible? I'm still.
Yeah, I get a chance to watch that. I missed that. I'm sorry about that, man. I really wanted to watch. I'm going to watch the replay though.
Chuck Dixon is the greatest. Chuck Dixon. I had Mike Barron on too. I started this channel to talk to cool people, and I'm as happy as I met you. This is great. I love talking to people about comics.
Yeah, but crowdfunding is so exciting now because now you can do anything you fucking want.
Right.
You can put out your comic that you always wanted.
You're your own boss.
So when I saw EVS put out Cyberfrog, I was like, now's the time to put out my comic, Smokes, that I always wanted to put out. I think a lot of people had the same dream as I had. They had this boyhood dream where you had this idea for a comic book and you wanted to have your own book. And
were you like a little kid? Like I still got them. I'm gonna show them off one day. But little kids just drawing and making comics, stapled them together and showing everybody. I still have some of those characters from when I was a kid, and I daydream about putting out my own comic. What you just told me that it's one step closer now. If I could do it all myself and have be my own boss, I don't have to listen to other people.
But you do have to put some money behind yourself. I think it's best to have at least 50% to 75% completed before you launch a. You
got to be able to show
crowdfunder
product.
Yeah, you got to show that you're serious. So you gotta believe in yourself. but yeah, it can be done. I mean, it takes a lot of work. There's a lot of better ways to make money than getting into comics. It's not You're not going to get rich right away in comic books unless you really knock it out of the park or something.
Phantasmagoria says,
Yeah,
"Do it."
John, if you want to do it, man, just do it. If you got a really good idea,
Yeah,
develop it,
I'm
work
at the
on it.
script stage. I'm writing a bunch of scripts. I
But
sent
make
out
sure you
a
get
bunch.
an editor, though. Make sure you get
Yeah,
an editor.
I firmly believe that because I can't pick up my own mistakes. And I'm still at that amateur stage where everything is wonderful. Then my friends read it, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Well, it makes sense in my. So I totally agree with you, and I said that to a few people. Like, do you have an editor? Do you have somebody working with you? And a lot of people go, no, I edit myself. And I keep quiet because I'm not here to douse anybody's dreams. But I do think. Do you have an editor? Do you have somebody who reads over your stuff?
Yeah, I had Kurt Hathaway was the editor for Smokes and Weaponized Werewolf. He worked for Rob Liefeld at Extreme Studios. He also did some logo work for them, so I had him create the logo for Smokes and Weaponized Werewolf.
What are you, Forrest Gump? How do you know everybody? you
I
know
just came across him on Facebook.
Oh, that is
He just
great.
does letters for everybody. He's been around. I think he even did some Badger letters before.
That is awesome.
He's been lettering for 35 years or something like that. So he's been lettering a lot of books. I just came across him. Dan Fraga is going to use him too for Black Flag for his upcoming book that he just had that he's crowdfunded.
Yeah.
And Soltac, if you're familiar with that book, Kurt Hathaway did the lettering on that as well. He's a talented guy. So not only does he do the editing, he can also make trailers for you. So he made the Smokes trailer for me.
Oh, that's cool. You gotta remember this.
Not the animation part. I had someone else create the animation part, but the rest of the video was created by him. And he's a great logo designer as well. And he does pre-press. So he's almost like a one-stop shop for for indie. So I'm gonna get a hold of him when it's time. Have him design the text for the covers and all that stuff. For the second book, though, I do have Aldis who did the editing this time.
Okay.
I'm still gonna have Kurt, I think, do the lettering, and probably do some post editing to see because I might have to write a couple small changes. Who knows? Because sometimes when the artist draws all the panels, you might not have enough room for some of those that dialogue. But I'm trying to prevent that. But that's what happened in the first issue, where a couple panels. Some problems come up when you're doing comic books. So I had to cut a little bit of text. Wasn't much, like a couple sentences throughout for the book, but I try to keep all Mike's words pretty much intact. I don't want to change too much what he's done, except like maybe add some captions and some sound effects, stuff like that. But
cool. I'm really impressed by all of your first off, you went out and you got like an army of professionals to work with you, and then you actually got it done, and it's good and it looks amazing. So I'm kind of inspired by this. Like here I am. I'm nobody, and if I may be selfish, I'm like kind of picking your mind, to see what can and cannot be done. I think it's
all you got to do is ask.
Yeah,
get a nice script together, get it edited, and get it like a presentation script. Make it look, all nice, and then shop it around. See if you can find an artist. Depends on what your budget is, I guess.
That's the realistic. That's what's hitting the brakes right now. Just bought a house, doing some home repairs. It's not the time to launch a comic.
Yeah, maybe just work on the script for now. Stuff that's not expensive. Maybe a logo. Just inch forward, and then when it's ready, it's ready. Why not? You only live once. Put out your fucking book.
So when you were a kid, what were you reading? What comics did you like?
I was into the Valiant stuff, the Image stuff, but I didn't really read too much of the Image stuff. Mostly bought it for the art.
Yeah, that's most people. Nobody bought it.
No one could read that stuff. But I really liked the artwork. But I was into a lot of indie stuff like the Madman.
Madman was great.
Concrete, Paul Chadwick. Bone.
Bone.
I subscribed to Bone before it was like a big thing. Like when I subscribed to it, Jeff Smith was, doing the mailing or whatever. They were just sending, the books in the mail. They didn't really have distributors or anything like that. Really, they're just doing
Yeah,
everything
his own,
themselves.
it was cartoon books, and then it went to
Yeah,
image.
cartoon books. Yeah, and I remember, I remember they would send me a Christmas card every year. That was cool. So
Really? Yeah. Wow.
yeah,
That's
and I signed a Christmas card like every year would be different art. So it's pretty cool. So they're kind of that kind of stuff like that. Made me want to become a creator.
wow. So you were all into the independents and self-made guys back then. That is
Yeah, it was big back then. I think when I was a kid, book.
oh,
Back then Sam Keith, Rob Liefeld, and, uh,
you know what I that was like the late 80s, early 90s. I think that was just a great period for comic book people in general. Comics were doing so good. There was just so much good independent stuff, like a rising tide floats all boats. It was just like a golden age.
yeah, now it's back again. I think full circle. Everything comes back. Even fucking bell bottoms comes back. Everything. Um, and I think it's bigger than before. It's bigger than when I was a kid. I think the indie comics is going to be the new future mainstream. The
I
mainstream seems to be dying off right now. They don't really seem to
they're
care.
killing themselves. They're not dying off because people still love comics. People want, I don't know about you, but I still like the Fantastic Four. I still like Spider-Man, but they don't like me and they don't want me. So why should I? I don't go to places where I'm not welcome is the way I look at it, So they're killing themselves because I got, I'm in my 50s. I got disposable income and they're writing for a non-existent audience. They're doing it themselves. I have no sympathy for them.
Yeah, I won't buy any new comics, but maybe if I see a nice back issue or something, I'll pick it up. But Marvel and DC are pretty much dead to me beyond back issues. I'll watch the movies though. My wife wants to watch Ant-Man 3. I heard it was all right.
I heard it was terrible.
Not Ant-Man 3. I mean, I'm sorry. Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that was okay. That was good.
That was all right.
Yeah,
I heard it was all right. I didn't hear anything bad, but I heard, I saw the new Ant-Man. That was pretty bad. I didn't like with MODOK or whatever.
I
didn't like that.
They don't like the source material. These people, who made Ant-Man, they're making fun of it. Why? They have no respect for it. They treat it as a joke. So why participate? I need my comic adaptations. I'm a freak. It needs to be slavishly reinterpreted on the screen. So the slightest change, like I haven't seen a DC movie since Man of Steel because they fundamentally did Superman wrong. So I don't want to participate. If you guys don't understand that when Superman shows up, you're supposed to be like, oh my God, like even if you don't know who he is, you're like, oh my, it's exciting and it's happy. And then when you're making a movie where people are afraid of Superman, that's not a Superman movie. That's the Homelander, So I didn't, I noped out at Man of Steel was the last DC, and I'm Marvel movies. I think Infinity War was pretty much the end. I saw the new Spider-Man, but anyway, I'm excited about crowdfunding comics.
Yeah, indie comics I'm more excited about indie comics than anything else.
This just came today. I can't wait to check this out. Terry Moore's After Dark.
Yeah, I met Terry Moore before.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the nicest guy,
He is the nicest guy.
Yeah, I've been sending him private messages. My stupid phone. We've been talking about trying to get him on my channel, and he just says after my campaign fulfills. So maybe now he'll actually come. Oh, talking about Paul.
That guy doesn't age, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, yeah, I think he's been replaced with like a plastic replicant or something because he looks the same in 20 years. I thought she said Paul Rubin. I was gonna say he just died. Yeah, I'm not wearing my glasses. So
Pee Wee died.
Pee Wee died.
My friend was able. I got his autograph a couple years ago because he did a convention in Arizona. He was a guest, and my friend was going to that show. I was like, "Can you give me an autograph?" He's like, "You want Pee Wee's autograph?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I did get that, but I never got to meet him. I
Uh,
wish I did.
I,
I like.
I was going to be. I thought you were going to be like, I met him. I met him. And I was like,
No, I wish.
you
No,
should know everybody in the comic book world.
but yeah, I met a lot of people in the comic book world because I go to a lot of conventions, or I did. I've been going to conventions since about 15. One of the first conventions I went to was the New York Comic Con, and it was
Okay.
either 93 or 94.
I
And
probably
the
saw you
get
there.
and guess who the guests were at that show? Jay Lee was there, so that was the first time I ever met Jay Lee. Young Jay Lee. I mean,
Yeah.
I brought a Polaroid with me. That's how long ago it was. It was back when Terminator 2 had that bonus footage. You ever remember that bonus scene that like was cut from the movie? It was like a cut scene for the T2 was chasing the kid or whatever. I don't know. There's this like extra scene that was cut out. It's like 7 minutes or something. But it was everybody was excited at the show because they had like a vendor there was playing that clip over and over again of that cut scene, and Terminator 2 was like the hottest thing
That was
ever at that time.
yeah.
I remember that, and then the Guns N' Roses song and everything. It was just a hot movie, and it was actually better than the first movie, I
Oh
thought.
yeah. That's that. Whenever people say like the sequels are never better, that you bring that up.
It's a
Em-
rare,
yeah.
it's a
Empire
rare.
Strikes Back and Terminator 2 are like the only two that people could say offhand.
But yeah, but that show was also it was supposed to be Mr. T was supposed to be there, but he canceled, and I was very still upset to this day about that.
Yeah.
I really always wanted to meet Mr. T. And
So,
but Barry Windsor Smith was at the show, and he is my my all-time favorite artist ever.
he was one of the first artists as a kid that I was like, this guy's important, and like I would buy other comics if he drew it, even if I wasn't collecting them, because I was like, I don't know, Barry Windsor Smith. He's important. I'm talking like I was a little kid at the time, like thinking he's important. Yeah, sometimes you're right when you're a little kid. He is important.
Yeah, I just remember seeing his stuff, his Valiant stuff on the shelf, um, and I did see his Weapon X. I remember in junior high school, some kid brought his Weapon X Marvel Comics Presents
Yeah, that was good.
comics and brought him to the lunchroom, whatever, and he had a few of them. I was looking at that artwork, and I'll never forget that artwork. It was incredible.
Yeah,
Some of
I'm
his best
talking
stuff.
about back issues. I never got into Conan as a kid, and now I'm I think I'm up to 12 of buying the back issues and reading them. That Barry Windsor Smith art. Now I know what everybody's been talking about. I never got it as, but now it is so good. So,
Did you get Monsters?
monsters. No.
I think he worked on it for like 30 years plus, and it's like his masterpiece. So it was a hardcover. It just came out a couple years ago,
Oh, really? I gotta
and
write
I
that
think it's
down.
his last thing he's ever gonna do. His last
Yeah.
published
He had.
work.
Is he okay? He had a stroke a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he had. Yeah, I think he's fine now.
Good.
He did an update and said that he was doing all right. So I hope he's doing well. Um, I've talked to him a couple times on email, but when I met him in person, he's not very like personable. You don't have a conversation with him or anything like that.
Oh,
You walk up to his table and you get your autograph and you walk away. And that's it. There's no more to it. You know what I mean? There's no.
I worked at a comic book store in '92, and they had like a comic retailer convention. So it was only people who worked in comic book stores. And I went in and I sat down, and I was just like looking around. I don't know why I was there with the owner of the store, but he wanted moral support. And I sat down right between Neil Adams and Neil Adams' daughter. This arrogant little kid, me, sit down, and I'm trying to talk to Neil Adams, like, hey, how's it going? And he's just like looking at me. His daughter was really nice, and she was like ran interference and talked to me and was really pleasant. But I just thinking me, 17-year-old me sitting down next to Neil Adams. Hey, how you doing, Neil? How's it going?
I met Neil, but much later on in life, and he was doing conventions galore, like every convention. So I seen him multiple times because he was everywhere.
Yeah.
He has more energy than me at that time. He was just everywhere. Him and Buzz were just, going from convention to convention. So I got to meet. I never got met his daughter. I met his his wife, but never his daughter.
Yeah, she just ran interference. She was at the time I didn't realize how inappropriate I was being. Just, hey Neil, how's it going? Hey, like he needs to talk to me of all people, some 17-year-old kid.
Yeah, I got excited for comics when I was a kid. Seeing all those covers, and it was a great time period, the late '80s, early '90s, mid '90s for stuff. Some people hate that time period in comics. Some people think it was a bad time. But like the whole Image comics, but and overprinting and the making the variant covers and all that stuff. Uh,
Yeah, when people say like '90s comics, that's like the Image explosion is what people popularized in their head. Rob Liefeld's Captain America and all, but they forget there was a lot of good stuff in the '90s. Like Neil Gaiman's Sandman was coming out. That was really good. The Max was coming out. And the '90s really didn't even start. The '90s didn't even start till like '94, '95. If you ask me, there was still a lot of really good stuff. And
Death Dealer.
Death Dealer, that was you talk about the Frank Frazetta?
Yeah, Frank Frazetta.
Yeah. Did you ever meet him?
No, I never met Frazetta.
One of my coworkers was I don't want to say his name, but his father worked under Frank Frazetta, and he said like he was just like a little kid going to Frank Frazetta's house, and he paintings and drawings all over the house, and he had no concept of how legendary this was. And then when we're working together, we're construction workers, and he's telling me, yeah, I used to go to Frank Frazetta's house. I was like, are you kidding me? He's like, yeah, he would be painting, he was talking to my dad, and my dad would be talking to him about business, and me and his kids would be playing, and I'm like, do you know? He's like, now I know, but at the time, can you imagine that? You go to Frank Frazetta's house?
I would love to go there.
Yeah. So I told other people that I knew were Frazetta fans that they're like him, and he's like, thanks a lot, man. Now they're getting swamped. It's like, no, I can't. Frank was alive at this point. It's like, I can't get his autograph. I don't. I'm not gonna go. But oh man, and one of my coworkers lived next door to John Romita Sr., so I got to go to his house. And he was like, is he a big deal? My buddy Pete. And I'm like, is he a big deal? Yes, he's a big deal. Yes. He's like, do you want to meet him? I'm like, yes, I want to meet him. I want to meet him. So he set me up. I went to Ramita's house, sat in a chair where
I got to meet Junior.
I never met you.
JR.
I never met Junior. How is he? He seems like a cool guy too.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. He came to DenverCon a couple times. They're doing this charity thing. I forgot how much. You got to donate a certain amount of money, and if they picked your name, you'd get like a little quick sketch.
Oh,
so
cool.
I got a little quick little Spider-Man sketch, just like a doodle. It's not even like a sketch, like a doodle.
Oh, that's cool.
Or like a quick remark, or whatever you want to call it. But it's still cool just to meet JRGR, and I don't know. There's a lot of people that I've met. There's still some artists that I haven't met. I got to meet Mark Silvestri recently, and I've been waiting my whole life to meet him.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was at the DenverCon just a few weeks ago. He's tall, like really tall. He's like 6'5" or something.
I'm the last right before COVID, my wife and I went to a New York Comic Con, and we saw Carmine Infantino. He's just sitting there at his booth, and my wife goes, look at that old man over there sitting by himself. She goes, I don't know who he is, but I want to go talk to him. And I'm like, that's Carmine Infantino. That's a big deal. And she's like, well, let's go talk to him. And we went over, and he was pleasant. He was nice, and I'm so glad I did, because he passed away soon after that. So score one for my wife. But I was intimidated. I was like, he doesn't want to talk to me, So she just wanted to go talk to the nice old man. And then Jim Steranko was there. That guy is like a.
Oh yeah, he's a legend. He was just here in Denver. I didn't get a chance to go to the show, but he comes here quite frequently. He likes to talk a lot, and he has a lot of fans. He loves to tell stories.
Or he's like Elvis, walking.
Yeah, he'll have like a whole crowd around him. He'll start telling some stories. He calls everybody his henchmen.
Yep.
And he's a great guy. He dresses like he's like on the set of like some 70s movie or something. I don't know. But yeah, he's a legend. You got to meet him if you haven't.
Yeah, I couldn't even get anywhere close to him. He was like working the crowd, you know. I was like, oh,
Oh,
that's
was he?
you know, my wife came over and he said something like flirted with my wife. I'm like, that's Steranko for you, you know. Guy's like in his 70 years old and he's still working the crowd. He's like like he's a Vegas entertainer. He's awesome.
Yeah, I get the excitement like a little kid when I meet like an artist that I haven't met before that I've always looked up to. There's still some. I never met Sam Keith in person. That's somebody I wanted to meet. I never met Dave Sim.
Yeah, I've been trying to get his contact information. I wanted to reach out to him. Are you familiar with the Goon at all? Eric Powell's The Goon comic.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that comic, and one of the things the Goon is like they're hitting people over the head with monkey wrenches and stuff. So when I went to Comic Con, I saw Eric Powell was there, and I brought a monkey wrench from work, and I stole a monkey wrench. And I painted it red so it looked like, and I wanted to have him autograph it. I thought it would be like a cool little prop and hang it up. And I don't know, I chickened out. I'm so mad at myself. He was just sitting there by himself.
Chickened out.
I know. I'm so mad at myself. He just looked at me, and he just looked like, I don't know, maybe something bad happened, but he looked. And I'm like, but he's in a comic. This is the, I'm not walking up to him in the deli or or in a supermarket. This right, and I just didn't. I'm so mad at myself that I didn't do it. Carried the stupid monkey wrench all the way there, brought it up, and then chickened out and walked away.
Oh.
I know. I'm mad at myself. And then after I talked to Chuck Dixon, he was just saying, he's like, go up to these people at the comic conventions. Half the time they're more nervous and they're embarrassed if people don't come up and talk to them. He's like, if they're at the comic convention, talk to them. And if they're a jerk,
yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I'm so mad at myself. Nowadays, I'll talk to anybody. But back, this was like 10 years ago. I guess I was a little bit more shy and reserved. Whatever.
No, I remember I was always excited when I went to the shows. I was a little kid going from table to table, asking them for a sketch, and I didn't have any paper back then, so I get the sketches on the back of like a cardboard from your backing board.
Yeah.
And usually quick sketches with a Sharpie or something like that. I remember meeting like David Lapham.
Oh wow, how was
real
he?
early on. Oh, he's a cool dude. That was right when he joined Defiant, so he just left Valiant, and I wanted him to draw Valiant stuff, but he was like moved on doing Plasm or Warriors of Plasm. But he drew me a quick Lorca sketch from Warriors of Plasm, and he's just a cool guy. I still have all my sketches that I ever bought,
Cool.
that I ever not bought, that I ever got as a kid.
That is cool.
Every single sketch that I ever got, I still have. I didn't sell them or anything like that.
I remember the first time I got starstruck. John Byrne, he was hot doing Fantastic Four at the time, and I walked up to his table, and I just stood there, and I wanted to ask him something, but I turned into like Cindy Brady from the Brady Bunch. I was like,
"Oh, you met him?"
I stared at him from the table.
Oh,
he 15.
I never got to meet John Byrne, but I heard that if he brought like a second edition comic or something, a reprint, that he wouldn't sign it, that he would use some rubber stamp and give you
there's horror stories, but he took mercy on this poor little kid, and he took my Fantastic Four 246 and he autographed it, and he said, "Here you go, kid." And I was like, "Thank you, Mr. Byrne." And so I got nothing.
That's cool.
Things to say. He was pleasant to me, but I just looked like this pathetic little kid that couldn't get the words out of my mouth. Yeah, I heard that too. If you bought a reprint or a second edition, he would just rubber stamp it.
Yeah, he would stamp it. A reprint for a reprint, he said, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That kills me. You know what I mean? That kills me.
And it's funny. I tried to contact him, and it just says no interviews. I will not talk to you. I'm like, okay. So I sent it anyway.
You never. Yeah, just ask anyway. I mean, but.
So you still go to conventions?
Yeah, there's a convention coming up. There's the Colorado Springs Comic Con. It's a pretty good show coming up. They got Adam Hughes is going to be there.
Cool.
Jimmy Palmiotti.
Okay, cool. I'm a big fan of his artwork. I really like his stuff.
Yeah, Mike Barron's going to be there. I was a guest last year, invited guest. So that was the first time I ever did a show. That was cool because I'm just a fan walking around.
No.
Yeah, I'm just a fan, little kid begging for autographs or sketches. But now I'm behind the table and it's different. You know what I mean?
Were you
So
selling comics and autographing and
yeah, I
stuff?
was selling all the stuff for my campaign, just the same prices minus the shipping. Uh,
It's cool. That is that. You know,
so
that's
I had so I had a
appreciate.
little table set up, and I was right next to Mike Barron. And guess who was on the other side of me? I had Mike Barron on the left, his table's to the left of me, and then I had Bob Hall to the right of me.
Oh wow, cool. That
And
must be
Bob Hall is another great, great artist, great guy, one of the nicest guys you can ever meet. Another valiant artist, Shadow Man. He's just a great guy.
You know,
I love
that's
his
I
work.
was saying that with Chuck Dixon last week. That it seems like the old Vanguard writers and artists they're perfect gentlemen. They're nice guys, and it just seems like the new crop of mainstream people are kind of
Yeah, I don't really follow any of the new. I'm talking about these are people that have been in the industry for
right. Yeah, but
decades. These are the people that I
real
want to meet.
people.
Yeah, I don't want to meet any of these new characters, whatever. I don't even know who they are. I don't follow them or buy these new
Well, my
books.
point is being that these guys are legends. You know, Mike Barron and Chuck Dixon and Bob Hall and
Yeah,
Gerhardt, and you could just walk up to them. Next thing you know, you're working with them. You know, and these guys are legends. These guys are super talented. You know, that's man. You know, so cool. You know, it is like a big little industry in a way. You know.
yeah. I think everybody knows everybody, kind of. But yeah, I want to get more into the indie stuff. So Smokes 2 is a little bit more indie based, I guess you can say, because I got Corey Barton doing a cover for me. If you're familiar with him, him and his brother did Kozar,
Okay.
that book, that indie comic, did great. They're just two brothers, brilliant artists. So he's wrapping up the colors on that. So he did all the line work and is doing the color everything for that cover. And I'm gonna have a second cover as well. I'm not gonna reveal who it is because I haven't decided yet, but I'm still thinking about what I want to do for the other cover.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
but it's probably gonna be a legend or something like that. Somebody
Got
cool.
me intrigued.
Um,
And knowing you with all these people, it could be anybody. You know.
yeah, but I'm not gonna go overboard and do like 10 covers or something like that. It's probably just gonna be two covers, just Corey Barton and another cover.
Cool.
Um,
When
but
is this? When is this going to start? When is this campaign starting?
when it gets closer, right now it's just the beginning stages.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're still in the thumbnails. But once he's done with the thumbnails, he's gonna be um, working on the final pencils, and then we'll send the first batch. So I got Peter Palmiotti doing the inks this time around. So the creative team's going to change a little bit. My inker last time was Rodney Ramos. He's just a really busy guy. He used to work for Valiant. He's now working for DC, I believe. He's all
Okay.
over the place. He's a very, very busy guy. But Peter Palmiotti, really interested in the book. Really wants to be a part of Smokes. So he's going to be the new inker for this issue. And Lee Oakes is coming back, the same artist.
Good. Good.
And of course, we got Mike Barron back, and I'm probably going to bring Kurt Hathaway for the letters.
That is
But we
great.
do have Aldis for the editing. He did the editing on Cash Grab.
Okay.
Um, he's a good guy, and I got the secret project that I'm working with Hojo. You know Hojo, Mythicals.
Yeah. Yeah. I just talked to him a couple weeks ago. Great guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great
This
guy.
I also enjoyed.
We got this project. I don't want to reveal the name yet, but it's a 12 pager we're working on. Aldous has that script right now, so he's editing it. So no art has started yet on it.
Okay.
Just like some like a model sheet or something so far. Nothing crazy, but it's just a fun little project. It's going to be like just a quick, 12-page short story, but it's going to be cool. Maybe I'll include it in the Smokes campaign,
Okay.
or
Okay.
maybe I'll do it as separate. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. It depends on how it goes.
An optional buy or something.
Yeah, like kind of like you have Weaponized Werewolf and Smokes, maybe 2 books again.
Okay.
But if you don't want it though, you can. There's an option. Probably I'll have an option just to buy Smokes if you don't want the other comic. But I think people are going to dig the other comic. Hojo's a good writer.
Yeah, yeah. I like
And I,
Mythicals. That
yeah,
was
I
another
get
comic that hit all my buttons.
yeah, I get excited about these indie books.
Yeah.
A lot of talent. They're putting a lot of love and time in these books when Marvel and DC are just, pooping them out and,
Well,
basically just just destroying their legacies and their characters. And it's just I can't watch it anymore. And I don't care anymore anyway. I don't care if they make another character gay or whatever. I don't care
right,
anymore.
right. I
don't care.
forget who I said this to, but even if they course corrected and fixed everything, that
I
ship
don't
is
care.
sailed.
I'm
I'm
done.
done. You know, I stopped in 2015. I'm not going to start again. It's moved on. I feel like I kicked the habit, and now indie comics and back issues are making me happy. And what I like is this is something you want to do. Like this is your passion project. That Hojo wanted to do mythicals. These are people. If anything is getting kickstarted right now, or crowdfunded, or Indiegogo, or Fund My Comic, or whatever, that these people want to do this. So they're treating it with respect, and it's quality. It's the best they're going to do. Like you said, it's not DC. Just here you go, shut up. Marvel just crapped all over the Punisher. Now the accountants told them to make another Punisher comic. Why do I buy that? You made it clear you don't like the character. Now you that's
bring him back.
So I'm with you. Get the independent comics.
Yeah, back issues are fine too. There's a lot of gold in back issues, and I think that's all the comic book shops are selling now are back issues and those pop dolls. People even buy those anymore still? Those pops, whatever the hell they are.
Funko Pops. I just heard that Funko Pops laid off like half their staff. Like that fad is over now. It's the Beanie Baby.
Yeah, I don't own any pops.
Yeah,
I never will.
I don't like them either.
I consider them like Beanie Babies. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing.
Yeah. You could look behind me, all these toys and everything, but I'm very particular. I don't know. Funko Pops never really interested me. Never bought one. Don't own one.
Yeah,
I take it back. A friend of mine gave me a little Doctor Strange. What am I going to say? No, it was a gift.
Oh, a little one.
Yeah. But I never bought it. I don't know. The mainstream could crash and burn for all. Well, you know what? I don't want to say that because that sounds like I'm upset and mean. And do whatever you want. What makes you guys happy?
Yeah, maybe one day they'll change, but I'm not waiting.
Yeah, I'm not waiting. Yeah, you're making your own stuff, and I'm buying your stuff. And I'm enjoying it, having fun.
I think the indie scene's going to get bigger and bigger, and there's scenes that's going to disappear, and we don't need them anymore.
No. And I think the wind is changing because the comic book press, which is another joke, has been ignoring the crowdfunding and Kickstarter and Comicsgate and all that stuff. But I think now they no longer can ignore it. It's getting too big, and people are talking about it. I laugh at. Did you see that Comics Broke Me trend?
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't respond to that.
I didn't respond, but I got to say I was laughing because it was all the mainstream people talking about how they're broke, comics broke,
crying about
they're all miserable,
cat food and all that stuff. Yeah, I don't want to hear about it.
And all the independent people are just like comics broke me out of poverty. Comics broke me out of like boredom. Now I'm excited. I just thought it was funny that all the independent guys were positive and happy. And all the mainstream guys were miserable. So
yeah, they're underpaid, overworked.
Whose fault is that? The people who underpaid them were the people quoting. A couple of the editors were hashtagging "Comics Broke Me." It's like, dude, you're the one who paid this person. You shouldn't be. Who you are? Comics. What are you doing? I don't know. Now I'm getting myself a rant and a raving over this.
Well, you got the chat talking about Beanie Babies.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope. If you got Funko Pops and you enjoy them, that's cool. I'm
just not into them. There's just too many of them, and I don't know.
I never had Beanie Babies.
I know.
I was too old for that, and I guess I was too old for Funko Pops. My kids have pop figures. What is good? I have to enlarge this so I can actually read it. My kids love. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. They're toys for kids. Just like you know, I was too old for He-Man, and my little brother loved He-Man. Doesn't mean He-Man was bad. I just missed it. Same with Transformers. You know, I was already in my 20s when Transformers came out. Doesn't mean it was bad.
Yeah, I was just a kid, so I grew up on Transformers, and GoBots came out, and I even watched that, the cartoon for that. I remember that. And then there's like Gem and the Holograms and
Yep.
He-Man, all that stuff was going on.
Snorks.
Fucking MC Hammer had his own.
Yep, I remember Hammer Time. He was Hammer.
Remember that?
Yeah,
he had like a talking shoes or something. I remember that.
And he would fly and fight crime or whatever.
I think Beetlejuice had a short-lived animated series. And
and now they're making a new Beetlejuice movie.
Oh, then they had Mr. T. Mr. T.
The Mr. T mystery. Well, the original Mr. T cartoon was that good, but they got a new one. Came out a couple of years ago. Mr. T's Mystery. It was like a Scooby Doo.
That was Mike Tyson. Mystery.
Oh, Mike Tyson. Yeah, I'm
thinking. Yeah, that's Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
That was classic because they had the what's it called, the birds, whatever. What the hell kind of birds are they? They got pigeons. They got to talking like pigeon in the because Mike Tyson trains pigeons in real life. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has a coop and everything, of all these pigeons. And in the cartoon, they have like a fucking talking pigeon. I only seen like a couple episodes of it.
It's pretty funny.
It's entertaining, you know what I mean? It's entertaining.
It's a funny cartoon.
But Mr. T had his own book. Mike Barron actually wrote Mr. T and the T-Force.
Oh, really?
For Marvel, I believe it was Marvel.
And Mike Barron is a legend. He wrote so much stuff. You know, and I've been getting his Kickstarter stuff like Private American and Thin Blue Line, and I just backed Bronze Star. I think he.
Oh, Pat Broderick. He is another guy that you have to meet if you never met Pat Broderick. Very, very nice guy. He's into the whole alien thing too. I don't know if you know that. We're talking about Coast to Coast and Gaia and stuff like that. He's into UFOs and all that paranormal stuff.
Didn't you do something for you?
I just got him to draw some sketches. Nothing to do with my comic book though.
I misremembered then. I thought he was drawing something for you.
No, he did. He's just doing work for Mike Barron though on that. Bronze Star, and that's like the best work of his career. I think I would say. I mean,
phenomenal. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. You know, I followed him since the early Captain Marvel comics. I thought he was and is one of the best comic book artists, one of the best living comic book artists, hands down.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He could draw really small. I remember I asked him if he'd draw a sketch card for me. And he told me he would, and he drew a full figure on the sketch card. A full figure without using a pencil, just like a rolling pen or whatever, Not he's that good. He likes to draw small. He told me that he likes to draw small. It's faster for him, and you can get a lot done.
Oh, okay.
Quicker pages you can get done pretty quickly if he draws on a smaller scale. So, wow. Yeah, look out for Bronze Star. It's another.
I want to know, who haven't you met in the comic book industry?
I haven't met anybody. I never met John Byrne.
Yeah.
I never met Jim Valentino. I want to meet Jim Valentino. Oh, I just met Mark Silvestri, so that was on my bucket list.
Yeah.
No, who haven't I met? Did you meet Jim Shooter? He's one hell of a guy. You got to meet.
You met him?
Yeah, Jim Shooter.
Oh wow, what'd you mean?
Yeah, he's a talker too. He would love to talk to you. You guys would talk for hours.
Oh man, I would love to. I love Jim Shooter. To me, was the high point of Marvel Comics. You know, I love those years that he was in charge of Marvel.
Yeah, because he ran a tight ship, and a lot of people didn't like him because of that. But
before him, Marvel was run by a bunch of hippies who, and which was fine. I liked it, but he came in and he ran it like a business.
Yeah, he was the real deal. I think he started writing comics at like 13 years old or something.
I think he was like 13, 14 years old, writing like Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Writing professional comics at 13 or 14 years old. Just imagine that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
he's a
from
great
friends
guy,
that
man.
he had
You have
some
to meet him.
financial difficulties, and he had to actually write and work to help support his family. You know what I mean? So this is a guy who took it seriously. You know, he had some real stakes involved. He wasn't just some fan kid that was just like, oh, this is fun. You know, he had to help pay the bills with his family, so he took it
So
seriously.
yeah, I never got to meet John Romita Jr. or Jack Kirby or anybody like that, or Frazetta, or
I saw Stan
Carl
Lee.
Barks. Imagine, I would love to have met, Carl Barks. Big fan of his work.
Yeah, yeah.
I did meet Don Rosa, who continued his work. He's a great artist as well. He's got canceled by Disney, basically. Well, they won't reprint a couple stories of his comic for Scrooge, because of the imagery is considered racist now or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
So
Same
there's
with
like,
a couple of why can't I think of the guy's name who does Tintin?
oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you can't get the Tintin in Congo. You know.
So now the Adventures of Scrooge McDuck, whatever, can't be reprinted in its entirety because the last, like the one of the stories that's banned or whatever, or not going to be reprinted, is one of the most important stories, and it's like the conclusion of the book. So you can't really publish stories without having the ending.
Ridiculous.
So it kind of like no more reprints of that book. But I was just talking to Don Rosa because he was just here at the Denver Con. I usually see the same faces. I got to meet Greg Land for the first time at Denver Con. He's a cool dude.
Cool. Hey,
he's a very, very talented artist.
I haven't been to a comic convention since before COVID. Now you're actually making you're making me miss it. Want to start going back?
Which one do you usually go to?
I live in New York, so I would go to the New York Comic Con. I would go to the Big Apple Con, and then right by me there's there used to be the science fiction icon out by Stony Brook, and then now a new one just started up. Why can't I think of it? It's at the Cradle of Aviation Museum. Yeah, so there are, and then I saw Arthur Tripp in the comments. He's a guy that, believe it or not, worked for Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and all those guys in the early '60s. He goes to the comic conventions around here, and he keeps inviting me, and just work is just killing me. But now you're inspiring me to.
I live for going to the Comic Con. It's really fun to me, especially meeting somebody if you haven't met them before.
Yeah. And it's working for you. Look at all these people you got meeting you and working.
I work on these jams. I have these jam pieces where I get an artist to draw. They're these like little panels, and I'll get basically just like a headshot of a character. So I'll do like a Batman jam or a Spider-Man jam, and these will have 9 characters on each page.
Okay.
Kind of like a baseball card sheet. We have 3 rows of 3. And I just have them all nicely spaced out. And then I just, when I go there, I try to get a different artist to draw on them. So that's kind of like my side hobby thing that I like to do when I go to the show. Get a little small sketch from the artist and have him draw a character that he's known for drawing. You know what I mean? So when I met JR, I had him draw like a Spider-Man, headshot on there, quick headshot, stuff like that. So that keeps me busy, kind of. But I don't really buy too many, Marvel or DC comics. But I do like to get sketches of the characters if it's from the artists that I look up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still like the artwork and I still like the imagery of the characters. I just don't like what they're doing with them. You know what I mean? I don't like.
I still like my old comics. I love my old Avengers comics. I go back and look at them and talk about them with people. You can't change, I don't believe in that, you destroyed my childhood, like they say with George Lucas, stuff like, no, my childhood was wonderful, and I still have great memories of Star Wars and, Star Trek and Avengers and Fantastic Four. That's still there. I could go in the back room and get those comics and look at them and read them and love them all over again. I don't particularly like what they're doing with Star Wars, but that doesn't matter anymore. I put the red X. It's gone. You can have it if you like it. That's fine. That don't bother me. But for me, Star Wars is over. Star Trek is over. Marvel and DC are over.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all done with. I mean, they don't care about their quality of their stuff anymore. It's all
it's
it's all
you know
agenda
I
stuff.
guess I'm old.
Uh,
I'm an old fart now. You know what I mean? But whatever. You want to come down and talk about Captain Kirk? I'll talk for an hour and hours and hours with you. You know,
he's actually coming here. He's coming to the Colorado Springs Con later this
I
month.
would be scared to meet him. I think that
I
would
I met him, but you don't actually meet him.
no.
No, you don't meet him. He just he talks to his handler while he's looking at your item, and then he might make a comment about your item as he signs it, and then he just pushes it, and that's it. He doesn't say, "Hey, thanks for watching Star Trek. Thanks for
Yeah,
being a
I don't
fan," or
think I would
anything like
talk
that.
to him. It would
"What's
only
your name, young man?" or anything like that. No, it's just he doesn't even look at you. I don't think. I don't. As far as I remember, I don't remember him even looking in my direction. But I did meet Sulu or whatever. What's his name
George
there?
Takai.
Yeah, he shakes your hand. He'll
He was,
talk to you.
oh,
And
that's
I
good.
met the guy who played Chewbacca. I can't remember his name
Peter
now.
Mayhew.
Yeah, Peter Mayo.
Yeah,
I met him, and he is taller than me sitting down.
yeah. He was at the last Comic Con I went to. Me and my little brother, and he was just like, "Oh my God, that's my little brother is not into." He just went because my older brother went because George Romero was there. It was one of George Romero's last appearances, and my brother, as much as I'm into comics, my older brother's into horror. So my little brother just came with us just for the hell of it, and he was like, it was funny because he was the last person I thought would get starstruck, and then he saw Peter May, and he's like, "Oh my God, that's Chewbacca." He was like, "Give me money, I got to get a picture with," which like he was freaking out. So of course,
Yeah, it was a great it was a great meeting. I loved meeting him. He's
yeah,
a great guy. Um,
George Romero
and
was pleasant. He took the time to talk to my
oh, you
brother.
got to meet him?
Yeah, my that was my brother's. He went there to meet George Romero. You know what I mean? So he went, and I stood next to him, and I didn't say anything. I just, but my brother, as much as I'm into comic books, George Romero is his, and my brother's like a big, cool biker guy and everything, and he got like tongue tied. He's like, it was cool, and he signed everything, and he was pleasant, and he talked to my brother. He was, everything you ever wanted out of meet somebody at a convention. He was so cool.
Never got to meet him.
Yeah,
I
my
wanted
brother
to
does
meet.
look at it. He has a poster that's autographed by all the cast members.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah, George Romero was the last one. So that was
Yeah, my
really
friend got to meet him before he passed away,
yeah.
but
He
I
was.
never got to meet him.
Oh,
So I didn't
you're
meet everybody. There's still a lot of people I haven't met, but I did meet a bunch of people because I've been to I don't even know so many different conventions. I used to go to California to the Big Wow
oh really?
convention, which is a great show. A lot of good artists. So I met Mark Texera, another one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, he's good.
And he's just a great guy too. Another guy I love to work with. Um,
That is that's great that you just go up and meet these people. Only in the past 5 or 6 years did I start like, they're just people. I'll go up and talk to them, whatever. But I'm still
don't be
mad.
scared.
I'm still mad that I chickened out. Why did I chicken out? He was right there. There was nobody there. I had the freaking thing in my backpack. This.
Did you meet Jim Lee before?
I've never met Jim Lee. No.
Oh, I waited 4 hours or something, 4.5 hours actually in line, and the line was really long because he was doing free sketches,
Yeah, and he's a major talent. He's one of the top people.
and there's people in line getting mad that he was doing free sketches because they didn't want a free sketch, they wanted just his autograph, and they didn't want. So he actually made a second line. So he was doing like autographs and then drawing in between. He was amazing. He was doing all this stuff and meeting everybody. But there's no way I'm letting that opportunity pass and not get a
Free
sketch.
sketch
You know
from
what I
Jim
mean?
Lee. Yeah.
But I didn't know that he was going to be doing free sketches. I didn't have any paper. I wasn't prepared. You know what I mean? You had to have a sheet of paper. So I did the old school way and used a backing board.
Yeah.
And my wife and I waited in line, and I got a Wolverine sketch, and she got Rogue,
Is your
and I'm
wife a comic
happy.
fan also?
Yeah, my wife. Well, my wife doesn't read comics really, but she likes the movies, and she got into like the animated series, the X-Men animated series. So she knows like comics in that way, but she doesn't really buy a lot of comics. But she likes the artwork and the characters and the cartoon and the movies and stuff like that. But she likes to collect artwork as well, so she'll bring like a sketchbook and she'll
Oh,
get
cool.
she'll get a sketch from artists that she'll scope out the artists that are going to be there. I'll tell her, my favorite artists that are going to be there, and she'll look at the artwork online, and then she likes it, she'll get
That's so cool that your wife is
something.
interested in, my wife likes the movies. She likes, we met over Harry Potter, so she's a fangirl of her thing. I took her to Supernatural for one of her birthdays, and she met the two guys. I forget their names, and they were so sweet to my wife. I was really nervous because we spent a lot of money to fly her to this convention and then meet these two guys, and they were sweet as could be. So I was like expecting, this is going to be bad. They're going to be jerks or whatever.
Oh yeah, you never know who you're going to meet.
You know what I mean? So I got nervous for her because if they heard her feelings, I would have been like, but they were nice. Ravenclaw. I'm a Ravenclaw too. Here we go. Ravenclaw. That's one of the houses in Harry Potter.
Oh, I don't know anything about Harry Potter. I never watched a Harry Potter movie or
Dean
read
and
a
Sam.
book.
Thank you, Phantasmagorical.
It doesn't really do anything, but I do like Harry Potter himself. I like what's his name? Whatever his name is.
He's taking.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Appreciate. I think that's pretty cool. The guy can take anything he wants, and he's playing Weird Al Yankovic.
Did you see the Army Man, Swiss Army Man, or whatever the hell it was?
No, is it good?
Yeah,
it looks
you like
crazy.
You like farts to move or something? You got to watch it, man.
Yeah, I like.
It's the most insane movie that you'll ever see. Is a Swiss Army Man or whatever, and this movie called The Lobster. I don't know if you ever seen that, but that was one of the weirdest movies I ever saw in my life. It has Colin Farrell in it.
And Daniel Radcliffe, The Lobster. I got to look it up. I never even.
No, not Daniel Radcliffe. It's got Colin Farrell, but Radcliffe is a great actor. He's in the Swiss Army guy or man, whatever it's called. That's a great movie, and I watched that show on TBS or whatever, Miracle Workers or whatever it's called. He's got his own show with Mr. Pink, Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi, yeah.
Yeah, they both co-produced the show. It's like a half-hour show. It comes on in the summer.
Okay.
It's like a third season right now, and every season, like the theme changes for the show, so it's like a different. They change it up. It's kind of it's a comedy. It's funny.
Well, that's cool. Yeah,
but
I don't know what's going on TV anymore. Anytime that I could be watching TV, I'm reading comics. You can't see. I don't want to turn the camera. I'm afraid it'll freeze. But I got stacks of comics right over here. I got boxes. I got to catch up with these comics. My big fear is that I'll die before I finish reading up all my comics.
Yeah, I got a stack of indie comics I got to read. What's up, General Piggy?
Yep, General Piggy's in it. How you doing?
He's one of my backers.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He shows up to a lot of my live streams. He comments on my videos. Great guy. Thank you, Piggy. Thank you.
Yeah, he's
a good guy.
He's a good big indie backer.
Yep, and I'm
supporter.
The names that I see, a lot of guys.
Like he's always out there, retweeting people and promoting everybody.
Yeah.
And we need those kind of people, behind us. Otherwise, we're not going to get anywhere. Without the fans, without the without the support, we're not going to go. We can't go anywhere. I can't make another issue of Smokes if I don't have the supporters there needed.
Yeah,
it's very expensive to make a comic book, with a lot of big names. You need a big budget.
Yeah,
not just a lot of patience and a lot of love and passion. You got to have a big budget for that kind of thing.
Back Smokes. It was
back Smokes. Every dollar that I get actually just goes back in for issue 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was fun. It was fun. It was
fun time.
Comic. It was fun. It was interesting. It like I said, there's something. The whole story with Smokes' mother really kind of, I don't want to spoil anything, but that kind of freaked me out. And I want to know what's going on. Like, he's a pot smoking fox thing, and yet there's darkness in the comic. I'm really intrigued of what's happening next. So I think you did a good job. You did exactly what I want out of a comic book. You got me to read it, and you want me to go to issue 2. You know what I mean? That's what Stan Lee said. Every comic book has to get you to get to the next comic book. And that's and you did it right. You did it absolutely right, and you did it better than most people because you got like legends. You got Gerhard doing a cover for you. You know, oh my God, I can't believe you got Mooney doing a comic cover for you. You know, unbelievable, unbelievable how you did this. You definitely have a magic power or something in your closet that
it's all in your words. I think some people say the right things, and if you say the right things to the right people, and you know you're a big fan, and they could tell you're passionate about your project, and you got the money, and
yeah,
you're willing to wait and get in their queue, you know, you'd be surprised. Some people will tell you yes, and other artists, you know, might not give you the time of day. But like you said before, you got to ask. You never know until you ask. What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose?
yeah.
So if you've been waiting to put out this comic book, John, just do it. I mean, just start
Yeah,
working on it here.
I'll work on the scripts when I get a bunch of scripts ready, and then you know, I have a couple of artists in mind that I've been talking to, and it's my own fear, you know. I want to pick people's brains apart of like the whole printing and layout, you know, and that stuff. I have absolutely, I got ideas, but I think everybody
Yeah,
comic books got ideas, so I did, you know, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff I need to learn about first, you know. Phantasmagorgals keep saying, "Give me a wrench and I'll drop the links." I have no idea how to do that. I would love to.
oh yeah, you just go into YouTube on not on live stream on your YouTube,
Okay.
and then you just highlight her name, and then the little three little dots will pop up,
Okay.
and then you click those three little dots, and then it
Okay.
says add as moderator,
Oh, okay. It's
standard moderator.
you see.
That's what she's yeah, she's got a wrench and a bunch of channels. She likes to drop links and stuff like that. So you want a few mods in your channel to do
Okay.
that. So
Is that all you have to do? You see? You see?
yeah,
If you just ask. So what do I go to our actual live chat?
yeah,
Well,
go to the live chat on YouTube.
I'm going to be closing out soon anyway. I gotta go
Okay.
to bed. So Phantasmagorgal, I'll give you a wrench for now on. Once I figure out how to do it.
Yeah, you just highlight her on the chat. You could even go on the replay and watch the chat, and you just highlight her, and three little dots,
Okay,
ellipses,
cool.
whatever you want to call them, pop up, and then you just make a standard moderator, and that's it.
Oh, cool.
But
All right. Well, how can we get your comic? How could anybody who's watching this get your comic?
you got the link in the description. Fund my comic. Right now, it's the only place to get it.
All right.
Fundmycomic.com.
Yep, and I recommend it. I'll put the link to my video so you can check out what I said and you know, look through it. I didn't showcase the whole comic because it's still new, and I don't think that's right for me to do, to show off your entire comic. But I showed the first couple of pages and I talked my speculation. You know, I'm probably wrong, but you know,
It was a good review. I appreciate it.
I thought it was really cool, really cool. I'm impressed, and I can't wait for issue number 2.
Yeah, she wants to know about Keshi Dreams, and that's the other project that I'm working on. I got these.
Oh yes, I wanted to ask you about this. Thank you, fantastic. So you got little resin figures, right?
Yeah, I got these little guys. I got a great artist to render my character Smokes with 3D modeling software, and he was able to make a 2-inch figure. Do you remember those Muscle Men?
Yep. Yeah,
So
I got
it's the same
3D
size
printer.
as the Muscle Men.
I got a resin printer. Would I be able to print one up?
I already have them printed.
Okay, so you could pick them up too?
And then they will come with you know, you got a bazooka, and I got a RPG. Oh, that's right.
Nice. Look at that.
But so yeah, it's pretty cool. But right now, yeah, they're made out of resin, and I have green ones and these gray ones.
And how do you get them?
Right now, I just have just about 24, I think, made. I'm gonna have to get some more printed, I think. But I'm trying to make them out of rubber, so they're true Keshi.
Okay.
So the Muscle Men, they were made out of, like, remember they were pinkish color, like a
Yeah, they look like bubble gum.
Yeah, and they were like this rubber material. So that's Keshi. That's a true Keshi. This guy Eric in the community, he makes these Keshis for a lot of campaigns.
Okay.
So he's gonna make. So I'll have to send him like one of these. This is the green one.
Okay.
Kind of looks like a gummy bear, doesn't it? Like a big
Yeah, yeah. It looks like he could
gummy
start
bear.
chewing on that. Yeah.
This is like semi-transparent
Yeah, you could find the
kryptonite
different
green.
versions. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, this guy named Eric, he's in the community. I'm gonna get a hold of him, and then hopefully he can make some casts for me, and then we can make these into rubber. So I'm probably gonna have two different versions where you can get the resin ones, so kind of like the prototypes,
Oh, cool.
and then the Keshi ones will be for sale. So I'm still working on the campaign. Have some extra stuff that I'm gonna be including in the campaign that hasn't been released before. A couple extra items if people want it, like add-on stuff,
Cool.
add-on items. And I don't know when I'm gonna be ready with the campaign. I'm working on it right now, like full steam ahead. And I'm just working on smokes too, and just staying busy and doing my thing.
That is cool.
So
Like I said, I'm impressed. It's I know it's cheesy to say, but it's absolutely true. It's inspirational. You know, you're a guy like me who just likes comics, and you went out and you met these people and you talked to them, and now they're all working with you making comics. That is really it is inspiring. You know, makes me want to light a fire under my ass and get going. You know, yeah,
yeah, work on your book.
yeah.
If you need any help or whatever,
Oh,
promoting or
thank
just
you.
questions like what you should
Oh,
do or
I'm a
whatever.
million questions. You just opened up a can of worms with questions.
So yeah,
You know, you did a great job. Your comic is a professional looking comic. You know, just I'm just talking about the printing, the quality, and the feel of it. It is awesome. You know, so that would be silly of me not to ask you a couple of questions when the time is
yeah, I
right.
use a local printer. I think if you're gonna do your own book, instead of going through the mail and using one of those, there are some good places in the like what's that one in Michigan, Gecko Printing or whatever. I forgot what it goes by, the other name, but a lot of people use that. Nothing wrong with that, but the good thing about using a local printer is, first of all, you save a lot of money on shipping. That's the
Yeah,
first thing, and the second thing is you get to actually see your comic book. You could get a proof from out of state, but it's going to take more time and cost more money, and it's just good to work locally. I just drive 20, 30 minutes to the print shop, and I can see
I know
what they're
one of my
doing.
childhood friends works for a printer. You know, right
Yeah, I
here.
would use them or whatever, and then but you want to use somebody who specializes in comics. There's a lot of printing places that'll make brochures and they'll make other things, but they don't necessarily make comic books. So you want to find a printing place that specializes in comic books because you want someone that in there that has passion for it and wants to, you know, print books. Yeah, I got a sign up page for uh, for my Keshi Dreams campaign. I'm trying to get the 50 signups. I think I need about 5 or 6 more.
Send me the
So get
link for that. And I'll put it in the description too.
yeah, so I need about 5 or 6 more signups. Then I'm ready to launch. I just got to put together the campaigns. The whole pricing thing is a whole, you know, how to price. I don't want to overprice it. I don't want to underprice it. I don't
Yeah,
want to,
yeah, yeah.
ask for too
I had
much
a friend
money.
who
I
was a
don't want to
board
melt
game.
my fans. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I'm trying to give everybody, their money's worth. So I'm gonna have some cool new items. So besides the figure, I got some other things in the works. Then I have the unreleased digital stuff. So basically like a behind the scenes, kind of like the model sheets and unused stuff that wasn't used in the making smokes and weaponized werewolf. Just and then I also have the line art edition. So if you wanted to see what smokes looks like in black and white, or if you want to see what weaponized werewolf looked like before the color was added, and then there's the pencil edition, basically almost like an artist edition of smokes. So it's 6 PDFs. It's all digital. So it's a good place for someone to jump in if you didn't back my book and you wanted to jump in, and it's also a good place for people that are already backed if they want to continue supporting me and like what I'm doing and want to get some more stuff that I'm putting out. But I don't want to milk my fans and try come out with a campaign every other week and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's a
Smokes 2 is
tightrope
going to be a
walk.
little while. It's going to be a little while for Smokes 2. It's ready when it's ready. You know what I mean? I'm not going to rush it. I like to take my time, and I want to do it right. I want to do a good job. If you rush it, you're not going to put any love into it, and maybe those backers won't be there next time.
Yeah.
Like, this book fell off. He had passion on the first book, but looks like he doesn't care anymore. You know what I mean? I don't want any of that. So I'm my biggest critic. I'm looking at everything. I'm looking to make sure. I'm looking for mistakes. I'm looking for whatever it is. Looking for something to point out, and I think that's why the book came out as well as it did, is because just the passion is there, and just.
Yep.
But I appreciate you having me on.
Anytime.
Let me drop that link for you.
I started this channel because I wanted to talk about comic books with people that actually like comic books. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm succeeding beyond my wildest dreams. I'm talking to people who are making comic books because they love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, there's creators that are not in it for that. They see that these other creators are making big money, and they think that you just come out with a comic book, press a button, launch your campaign, and magically you just have fans just come out of nowhere and they back your book.
And the Netflix deal. That's what they're really looking for.
Yeah, and you get toy deals and everything. You just got to press a button and everything comes to you. You don't have to do any work after that.
Yeah.
So just creating the comic is just the first step. After that, you got to market it, and no one's going to, market it for you, except for yourself.
I think Phasmagorgle's my new favorite person.
This is great. She makes these videos for creators. She makes like 2 or 3 videos a day, and she spotlights all these campaigns and just gets an eye on everybody's projects, just because she loves indie comics. No other reason. She doesn't want money or anything like that. She just wants.
Could you follow me on Twitter at John's? Look for me on Twitter, and I want to follow you and look at your stuff. That it'll be a good way to check out your stuff.
Yeah, she just has a YouTube channel, and she just promotes everybody. She doesn't have a comic out or anything like that.
Cool. I'll check that out. That's cool.
Everybody loves Fanta.
Oh, cool. Fanta's the best. Okay.
See, that's Ray. He's another guy that's on my show, The Man Cave, on Thursdays.
Oh, cool.
He's the Umbrella guy's web guy.
Oh, okay.
You know the Umbrella. You know the Umbrella guy.
Yes. Yeah.
He does his web stuff. He's the one who was talking about that plugin earlier. It's working on a plugin so you can actually have a campaign on your website.
Thank you. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I'm glad I ran into you and your channel. You're a great guy. I wish there was a lot of people like you out there that are just big comic fans. And
double check if you follow me, because my first Twitter account got destroyed because I said something that wasn't politically correct. So
you did?
Yeah.
When?
So a couple of weeks ago. So
you lost your Twitter account a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah. They were talking about those people blocking traffic, and I said I'd run you over.
I can't stand that shit either. I'd run them over too.
If I'm going to work in Manhattan, I said, you are literally blocking everything, because if you're stuck in Manhattan, I said I have no choice. But and that got my account.
Oh, that's violence, though. If you say anything about violence on Twitter, they ban you for that. I said, you ever see those videos? You ever see those videos where they take the babies and they dunk them in holy water and baptize them very violently?
Yeah, that drives
me crazy. And I said, if I saw that in person, I'd punch the guy in the face, and then I got suspended on Twitter for saying that.
Yeah, I lost my appeal, so I have to start all over again. So just check if you're following me or whatever. I know you are.
Sure, I am.
Yeah,
I think I followed you the other day. I was wondering. I was like, I thought I already followed you. So
yeah, I know. And I don't want to say anything on Twitter because I'm not supposed to have an account now. You know what I mean? So I'm sure nobody from Twitter is watching me right here. So you know what I mean? So people are just like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know, because I'm trying not to draw attention.
Yeah, you can't say anything about violence on Twitter. That's the only. You could show naked pictures, porn, triple X stuff.
And I don't think what I said was too long. Like, don't jump in front of my car. If I got someplace to go, my job is important to me. I got to get to work. I got bills to pay. I got a mortgage to pay. And if you stop my car, I'm going to run you over. I'm sorry. That got me banned.
What's up, Abrax?
Yeah, Abrax is another one. He's always around.
Yes, we need to be surrounded by people that love this this community and indie comics.
Yep.
And we all need to help each other. We all need to promote each other. I promote creators just about every week in the Man Cave. This is the first week we're actually not doing the show. I'm taking 1 week off.
Yeah, I'll be up. Oh yeah,
pretty much
I got no 2 years Thursday. I could watch you, and now you're not going to be on.
Yeah, consistently for the last, I don't know, almost like a year and a half or so, I've been promoting as many creators as I can, even though I don't have the biggest reach. I just have a small channel, but I've been growing my channel, and I got to, 40 now? Just hit 450 subs, so it's growing. And I'll continue to, help the little guys. No one else is going to. It's up. We have to do it ourselves. You know what I mean? We have to.
Thank you. Thank you, Ray. You break it up a little bit. I lost what you said. You kind of froze on me.
Oh, I said we just gotta help each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just
we gotta help each other. Support. Oh, I guess I scared him away. Did I scare you away?
What? No, it's your internet's out.
Oh, all right. Well, I think it's storming over here, so I think I think we'll take this opportunity to, guys. I thank you. Your crowd of people that came over to chat were wonderful. Phantasmagoria, I'm my new favorite people. Ray, thank you. Abrax, he's been always commenting. I want to thank everybody. Arthur, you showed up early. I saw you. Justin, this is my second time talking to you. I could talk to you for another hour. You're a guy who loves comics. I don't take it the wrong way, but I find you inspirational that you went out and talked to all these people and got them to work on your comic. You always wanted to do it, and you did it well to the point where I can't wait for the second issue. So, man, this is excellent. I can't sing you praises enough. I don't tell people to back things, and I don't tell people, I just give them the information and let them go. But you're one of the people that I'd say, like, go, back the comic. After I just said I don't tell people to back it, but
I don't cause drama or anything. I'm not on Twitter causing fights.
I'm my own worst enemy. I cause drama.
I don't even
my account banned.
I'm more focused on promoting my book, promoting indie comics, and just having fun and having a good time. Because if you're not having fun and a good time, what's the point?
Comics are fun. Comics are fun. I can't see these people that are miserable in comic books, and then the independent guys are all having fun, blast. They're 6-hour Twitter streams, having jokes and laughing with everybody. Comic books are fun.
We're having a blast. Yeah, and there's a lot of people out there that are like, I got banned from Reddit for no reason.
I've never
didn't even post. I never used Reddit either, but they have 2 million comic book fans on there, and I thought maybe I should go check it out. About the launch a campaign. I'm gonna go check it out. So I made an account, and then a couple days later I looked to go log back in, and it says I was banned. I didn't even make one post. All I did is comment on a few other posts and just nice comments, just laughing and just making a nice comment. Because you got to win, you have to do karma points. You have to have 10 karma points to be able to post. It's weird over there. And so I was just trying to comment and try to get, some karma points. And then they just banned me because I'm part of Comicsgate or whatever it is. So they just banned me because of that. They don't even tell you why. And that's the only thing I can think of because I didn't do anything or say anything. And Mike Barron also got banned from Reddit. And I was just seeing what would happen, basically, just kind of to see what would happen.
Now I'm curious.
But yeah, there's like a war going on, man. There's a war going on where they assume that we're all a bunch of bigots or racists.
And the accusation's the proof.
No proof, of course. Right. Just we are, and of course we are, and don't talk to us. They're mad that we're having fun, we're making money, we're selling comics. Meanwhile, they're not making the page rate they should be, not getting their fair share of of
Right.
commission or not commissions. What do
These
you call it?
mainstream miserable people should be going over to Eric July and being like, "I'll work for you." You know, the guy's paying some of the best rates in comics right now. Why are you fighting with this guy? You know, it makes no sense.
There's a
Makes
lot of people that are attacking Eric July and because of his success.
why?
Good for him. You know what I mean?
Why?
Why would I be upset at him that
What?
he's
What?
successful?
You know, I got to admit that I'm human, and sometimes humans we get a little bit of jealous. We have negative emotions. You know, I'm not saying I'm above, and but years ago I learned this little trick. I just tell myself, what is this guy taking away from me? And if the answer is nothing, then congratulate him. You know what I mean? Like, you are not taking anything away from me by making smokes. So good for you. Matter of fact, you're showing me that it can be done. I find that great. Eric
Yeah,
July,
you can do it, man.
right? Eric July is showing me, you know, that you can make $3 million on a comic book. That it's possible. Is it likely? No, but it's possible. So I look at these guys. I'm like, great. You know, this is wonderful. This is, you know, they're paving a way for me. You know, why? If you're jealous of Eric July, then I got to say, get off your ass and do it yourself. You know, I don't know. You know,
There's a lot of creators that are jealous of each other, and it's there's some competition, I guess. You know, people are looking at your numbers, seeing how many backers you got, see how much money you raise, how well you did. But there's a lot of creators out there that are helping each other. That's what I want to do. I want to help as many as I can, and I hope in return that they, help me, retweet me. I know there's people out there that can't back every book. They might not have the budget to back
even me,
Smokey or whatever.
I have to turn down because it's just at the wrong time, even though I want to. You know, I don't claim to be Mr. Moneybags, but you know, doesn't mean I won't promote it or try and
You don't have to back every book. You can always, invite somebody on your show, or you can retweet, and just stuff like that, and just do a review, or just point out the comic book. You don't have to buy it. But any support is good support. You know what I mean? Not just money support.
I find jealousy is a weird and it's just a bad path to go on. You know, there's no end. Like, even when I started my channel, there was, one guy that I was watching, and I'm like, why is his channel getting better than mine? And I'm like, so I ended up talking to the guy. Next thing you know, we're helping each other. But my first instinct was to get jealous, and I realized that was a me problem. That was a stupid thing. And then the guy turned out to be a great guy and helped me. Gave me some pointers, and So my point is, jealousy is bad. Eric July ain't hurting me. You ain't hurting me. Mike Barron is only making things better. I don't know. I now I'm gonna stop preaching. I'll take out the preacher collar.
There's just a lot more comics to pick from now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's
absolutely.
so many indie titles now. I think there's way more indie titles than there is mainstream titles, for sure. I think there was 25,000 or something comics just on Kickstarter. Isn't that nuts? 25,000 campaigns, and not all those campaigns are gonna fund. They say something like 60% of those campaigns are going to fail for whatever reason. Not enough planning, the character development's not great, or whatever, the artwork. So I did a lot of studying and, watching other people and watching other campaigns and seeing what other guys are doing and stuff like that. Ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions if you don't know what the hell you're doing or what's going on or whatever. Just ask. Everybody in this community seems pretty nice.
I was just about to say that.
Most part.
Everybody seems to be so helpful, and pretty much everybody that I have live chats with, I'm still talking to them. Sending emails back and forth, and everybody's so pleasant and everybody's so approachable. I don't know. And then I go on mainstream comic book people, and I'm blocked, and I never even talk.
Yeah, you're blocked for not doing anything. They got you in like a chain block or whatever, blockchain.
Yeah.
Mark Brooks, I'm sick of hearing his name and every stuff like that. So on our channel, we don't talk about any of that stuff. We don't point fingers at Marvel and DC, what they're doing. I don't care what they're doing anymore. Yeah. There's a lot of people doing the hate watching and stuff. I don't do that stuff. I don't want to waste my time watching something that I know I'm not gonna like.
No.
Why? Why?
Like I said, I put X's through something, and if you like it, that's fine. But and I'm not going to make fun of you, and I'm not going to insult you if you like something that I don't like. That don't take nothing away from me. But I got no problems. You enjoy that. That's fine. That's cool. You like it. I don't like Star Trek Discovery, but I'm not going to sit here and make fun of you because
Oh, I never even watched that.
you know what
I
I mean?
like the Next Generation.
Yeah.
That was
My
mine.
wife and I just rewatched Next Generation, and it was great. It still held up. It was excellent. Now I'm watching Deep Space Nine. I've never watched Deep Space Nine.
No, I never watched that either.
It's tough, man. The first season is rough. Everybody tells me it gets better, but it better start getting better quicker because I'm about to stop.
No, I just like the Next Generation and the older stuff. But same with Star Wars. I like the original trilogy. I didn't care for the new stuff, any of that stuff. Just didn't do anything for me.
No.
They just remade Children of the Corn. I saw that the other day. Oh, it was so weird. I don't know.
All right. Well, I could talk to you for an hour, but I could talk to you for hours, but
my wife's gonna be like, I thought you said it's only an hour stream. Story of my life.
No, my wife's gonna be, you're gonna be tired in the morning, and she's always right. So let's close you out. You got Smokes. Smokes is on Fund My Comic right now. I put
Fund My Comic. For now, until I run out of copies, so I'm running really, really low. Because I didn't make that many. I only total printing. I think I made 750 copies of everything, of like all the variants and everything total.
Okay.
And I got like a small box full, not full, but a small box left. So I'm running kind of low.
Do you think you'll reprint number one when you do the campaign for number two?
I'll still have original copies, I think, for that, but not many.
Okay.
So a catch-up tier will be very limited. I don't want to go back and reprint. I kind of want to make them collectible for the people, that got in early, got something that's cool, that's collectible. I'll probably make the print run maybe a little bit bigger in next issue. I don't know, or maybe around the same size. It all depends on how many signups I get and everything else. Who knows? The economy's different this time around. You know what I mean? I don't know how the economy's going to be next year or what's going to be going on next year. Could be a whole new story. When I was going to print, we had toner shortages, paper shortages. Of course, one time I'm putting out a comic book, we have both those things. So actually, the printer actually held me up, and it wasn't really the printer's fault because they couldn't get those things. They had a contract with what I forgot the name of the fax company or whatever, but they're supposed to bring them toner, and they said that they don't bring them toner like they used to. So it's just hard to get. And
I'm in construction, and every day we get deliveries, and we've been waiting like a couple of weeks on important stuff that's holding up projects. Everything.
Everything's a shortage. You go to the grocery store, like remember the chips. It seems like there's less options for like chips and like
eggs.
Everything. Just products in general. There's like less options for things.
Yeah.
And
you said you don't want to talk about politics, so
yeah.
I think.
But yeah, I'll let you get.
I don't think it's an accident. I'll leave it at that. I love it.
But yeah, it was great. It was great talking to you.
It was great talking to you, man.
We need more people like you in this community.
Right back, people who actually like comics and love comics and doing it out of passion. I admire that. I do. I said it a million times, and I'm probably gushing now, but I do find it inspirational. I think it's great. So, I'm a fanboy now. I'll be looking forward to issue number 2. Thanks a lot, everybody.
I'll come back. When we get a little bit closer.
Yep. Listen to Phantasmagorical. She's my new favorite person. Back Smokes the Fox and Weaponized Werewolf on Fund My Comic. Luke from Fund My Comics, he's going to come on here in a couple of weeks too.
Oh, he's a great guy. Yeah. Part of his group. I was there when we came up with the idea. When he wanted to put out the site, we were pitching names for it. I had a couple of funny names that we wanted to call the site. I don't know if I can say them on air, but
okay. All right.
I was going to call it Cuckster or something.
I know. I think that's great. A fund my like a crowdfunding site that's one of us. That is awesome.
Yeah, and he's not gonna shadow ban you or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that is so good. You know, I I'm stumbling on my words now because I'm getting tired. But when I get ready, I'm definitely going to be going to fund my comic because I just want to support us. We got our own industry, we got our own carnival going over here. Let's all party together. You know what I mean? Let them do what they want. That don't bother me. That's for them. If that works for them, good for them. But this is us. Let's
Yeah,
all...
now we got our own platform. You know what I
Right,
mean? We don't
right.
have to worry
Exactly.
about Kickstarter shadow banning us or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never got shadow banned yet, knock on wood,
Yeah.
but who knows?
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm still waiting on my Kickstarter money. I hope they don't play games. I've heard, at the last step where they say, "Oh, by the way, we do have a problem with your campaign. We're not
I've,
going to give you that money. We're going to refund everybody." You never know what these guys are going to do. So
yeah.
until that money's in your
I
bank
heard that.
account,
I heard that too. I heard some horror stories. Yeah.
so I got, I got all these orders right next to me that I'm waiting on because I'm just waiting to make sure that the Kickstarter goes through and I don't have to, I hope they're not going to play games or anything. But
Okay. All right. But I gotta go. I'm gonna
all right,
on some dinner and go to bed. My exciting life of a construction worker. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Justin Belmont, for coming and talking comics with me for 2 hours. Wow, this is
yeah,
great.
anytime, man,
Like
anytime.
2 hours.
I
Wow.
live for this. I could talk for days.
I don't shut up. All right, I'm gonna stop now before I start ranting again. But thank you, everybody.
I will too.
Thank you. Bye, everybody, and check out the links in the description. Justin's a great guy. Let's give him some support. Bye.
Thank you.